crazy as far as, my schedule goes. And also just a bit of me being lazy when it comes to recording. But my schedule has been changing a lot, and that has factored into it, but I'm wanting to try to get back into a more normal routine of making sure that I'm recording, because that's really going to be the only way that I can actually grow the channel. And I do actually really enjoy these videos once I actually sit down and do them, so hopefully, like I said, I can go ahead and get some more videos made here soon. It's actually harder coming up with ideas for videos than you would think, but no excuses, and that's the mindset I'm trying to have with it. But anyways, enough about that. What we're actually going to be doing today is very similar to the last video I did, where we were going over the top villains in DC, and I had a lot of fun doing that one. I wanted to make another Dragon Ball video, so I figured why not go ahead and do one like that. So today we're actually going to be doing a list of the 25 most powerful main characters in Dragon Ball. I got this list from thegamer.com, so shout out to them. I definitely want to give credit to where credit's due. I'd kind of read through this a little bit before actually deciding to record, because I wanted to make sure it was actually like it made sense. I didn't want to get halfway through it and then realize, they have somebody like Yamcha as number one as a joke or anything like that. So it looked pretty good. When I skimmed through it, I didn't really have any major objections. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and like I said, we can hopefully be getting a lot more content out to you guys. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into the list. Coming in at number 25, we have Dabura. He was introduced in the the Boo Saga. He was the minion of Babidi, and he's essentially the ruler of hell. And I'm sorry, I have roommates that are watching soccer, so I hope that's not picking up. So if that does, I do apologize. But Dabura, he's essentially like the ruler of hell. He's like the demon god or whatever. I always thought Dabura was pretty cool looking. He's the one right here in the blue. That's him right there. And I was hoping it would focus actually so you guys can see it, but let's see what it says. It says, this was a close one between Dabura and Super Perfect Cell. Ultimately, it comes down to their performance against Gohan. Cell does okay against a raging Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but ultimately loses. Dabura fights against a rusty Super Saiyan 1 Gohan. He also does okay. In this comparison, Dabura is the safer choice. He's a villain of a new arc and can be expected to be stronger. Goku also mentions that Dabura is about as strong as Cell, so worst case scenario, these two are equal in strength. Dabura, they didn't really, especially in the Boo Saga, he didn't really get too much shine, I guess you will. He did have that cool moment where he turned Piccolo and Krillin into stone just by spitting on them. I thought that was pretty cool. I wish he was kind of more of like of his own arc or his own story. I really think he could have been a successful arc, but Toriyama and them didn't think so. So that's what goes. Let's see, number 24, we have Mr. Boo. This is from this looks like it's based on the Boo in like Dragon Ball Super, not from the Boo Saga. Because the Boo for Boo Saga when he was a villain, and the Boo that we have now is not even close. let's see. Originally, Majin Buu was also one not as strong as you would think. He easily beat Dabura and somehow survived Majin Vegeta's attack. However, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 form proved to be too much for Mr. Buu. After that, there hasn't been a single fight he was able to win. In Dragon Ball Super, he looked to make a comeback in the Tournament of Power. However, he trained so hard that he fell into a deep slumber and missed the whole thing. Like I said, with Buu now, he's more of like a good character, so they don't really show him as like they did when he first introduced, especially with Majin Buu or Kid Buu especially. Kid Buu especially was a monster. He was very powerful. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that I can't remember who it was, but it was either Frieza or Beerus, but somebody had said that they had been told that one of the people you do not want to upset was Buu. I can't remember which one though, but they definitely did a good job of putting over how strong he was, but what he is now is not even close, so I'm okay with the ranking of number 24. Number 23, we have Rudigarn. Let's see if I can get you guys a picture of him, because he was a giant. There he is, like holding Gohan in his grasp. You can't really see it, and it won't focus. Let's see. The giant beast was portrayed to be extremely powerful at first, some sort of legendary beast still for many years. Except Super Saiyan 3 Goku defeated the beast within a few minutes, which is why Rudigarn is so far down the list. There's nothing impressive about the monster since he has no special powers. He's big and can teleport. There's a transformation, but in the world of Dragon Ball Z, it's not unique or interesting. The fight ends up being one-sided and underwhelming. I would agree with that. That movie, while I enjoy most of the Dragon Ball movies, that one was, pretty average for those reasons. It wasn't really much to him. They really built him up and built him up and built him up that he was going to be like this powerful beast. But then once he actually got there, it was just like, okay, like what's next? And then there was nothing next. So I'm okay with that ranking. Now the next ranking I'm not okay with, because this is one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire series. So to see them ranked this low was pretty surprising. At number 22 we have Janemba. Janemba is one of my favorites just because his look was super unique, and the story they had with him was different. He was like a worker he was like a worker in hell, and then I forget what. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, but he causes an accident that actually ends up causing him to like absorb all the like evil spirits or something. I forget exactly what took place in the movie. It's been a couple years since I've watched it, but he was really cool. I'll try to see if I can get you guys a picture of him. There you go. It focuses a little bit. Let's see. The last time we'll be using Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a benchmark. Janemba is much stronger than Goku and Vegeta from the Majin Buu arc. He's a ferocious warrior with a very unique set of abilities. Instant transmission, mouth blast, and a sword. Also a very unconventional fighting style. He reminded me of like Hit before they ever introduced Hit, just because he can kind of do like the time skip type thing. Not exactly, but like he can like shift his body into like these like cubes or whatever that like you'd have to see it, but it's really interesting. I'm really a big fan of Janemba, and I hope we see him come back in the future in some sort of way or another. I don't really know how they would do that though, considering how the movie ended. As strong as he is, Goku and Vegeta's fusion, Gogeta is able to destroy him in seconds. Still, he did almost defeat the Saiyans when they fought individually without fusion. There would have been no way to stop him. Yeah, like before the fusion, Janemba was whooping up on him, so he's definitely a very, very strong character, so I'm surprised he's ranked this low, but I can see why they did it. Let's see, at number 21, we have Gotenks. Gotenks surprised everyone when he unlocked his Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Goten and Trunks only saw Goku do it once, and yet they were able to recreate it. Not only that, but he was also stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Sadly, that doesn't amount to much here. He could have defeated Mr. Buu easily, but at that point he had transformed into Super Buu. The result was a much closer fight that ended with their fusion time limit running out. Gotenks is one of those characters I just never really cared for. He has a really cool look. I mean, kind of basic, but still pretty cool look. There we go. But he was just kind of one of those characters that I was just like, he's there, but he's not really anything that I'm like in love with or anything like that. So I'm okay with that ranking. Let's see, coming in at number 20, we have Mystic Gohan. After having his potential unlocked, Gohan became the strongest. This status may have been short-lived, but it was still enjoyable. Super Buu stood no chance at first, however, Gohan's trademark overconfidence came back to haunt him. It did, but Gohan does have one of the best lines in the series. Whenever he shows up, and of course he is overconfident, but Buu, I forget what exactly Buu says. Buu says something like, "Oh, you're here to fight me," and then he's like, "Fight you? No, I'm here to kill you." It's a really, really cool line, but of course Gohan's cockiness, which is something he's very well known for, ends up getting the best of him. He was unable to finish the fight and let Buu absorb Gotenks. After that, it was a one-sided affair where Gohan was left demoralized by the powered-up Buu. The second time in his life, Gohan was unable to quickly finish his opponent. And then, following up with that from the very same arc is, number 19 is Super Buu. Super Buu. Buu didn't just absorb Gotenks and Trunks, he also caught Gohan off guard and added him to the collection. This put him well beyond the capabilities of Goku and Vegeta. He had become the strongest version of Buu. This was also my favorite Buu. I thought the Super Buu looked absolutely awesome. You can kind of see him right here, and you can see he's kind of got like the outfit of like Gohan and them and all their abilities, but it's still Buu. I wish that would have been the final form, as a personal preference, but to each their own. Kid Buu is awesome. Let's see. As in the case with Dragon Ball, a new power-up rarely overstays its welcome. Goku and Vegeta use the Potara earrings to become Vegito, and once again the scales tip to the other side. I mean, that's basically what Dragon Ball is notorious for. Somebody powers up, somebody finds a way to power up past that, and so on and so forth. Especially if you're going against Goku and Vegeta, you're not going to be stronger than those guys at the end of the day. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. Vegito's power at the time seemed limitless and was well beyond anything in the show. So, yeah, in short, Super Buu, or really anybody in the show at that time, stood no chance. Let's see, number 18, we have from Dragon Ball Super, we have Cabba. Cabba is a Saiyan. He's one of the Saiyans from Universe 6. You can see him right there. Let's see. Cabba is one of the new Saiyans from Universe 6, as I said. He is the first from his planet to become a Super Saiyan and even manages to achieve the upgraded Super Saiyan 2 form during the Tournament of Power. I'm gonna just say I did not like in the Tournament of Power how they did power-ups for like Cabba or Gale and Cleavla and all them, just because they spent the whole show building up, like, especially in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, before you get to Super, they really build it up, like how hard it is to not only achieve Super Saiyan, but then to go past that. And then they did it like that, like it was nothing, especially in Super, so I wasn't a fan of that. But they still had some cool moments. Let's see, as strong as he is, Kaba gets overpowered by the other characters very quickly. He isn't able to keep up with the powerhouses like Frieza and is knocked out of the ring fairly early. Still, he did his best and was effective in combat. Yeah, I mean, at this point in the show, especially in Super Saiyan 1 or Super Saiyan 2, I mean, really anything before Super Saiyan God is kind of just, you're way late at that point. Let's see, staying with the Dragon Ball Super and Universe 6, we have Kefla, another Saiyan from Universe 6, and this time even stronger than Kaba. She also becomes a Super Saiyan 2, but that wasn't enough to satisfy her. She immediately set her eyes on attaining Goku's Super Saiyan Blue transformation. As a Super Saiyan 2, Kefla managed to fight on even footing with Goku, although we later find out that Goku was massively holding back due to his concern for preserving stamina. Kefla is still a major threat during the rest of the tournament. Yeah, and I have a feeling she's going to show up on this list again, but maybe not. I don't remember when I looked through it. Actually, no, she probably won't, because then, if anything, they'll have Kale. Which, it wouldn't make sense if she won, because she was very, very powerful, so we'll see where she lands. But there's a picture for you guys interested. Let me see. There we go. So let's see, coming in at number 16, we have Android 17. That they should have put him at number 17 just because he's Android 17. But regardless, the biggest surprise of Dragon Ball Super was how strong Android 17 had become. Yeah, he was super strong in Dragon Ball Super, and he was actually the reason that, spoiler alert, he was actually the reason that Universe 7 really ended up winning, due to the sacrifices he made. I love Android 17. He's such a badass. Let's see. He fought extremely well against opponents much more powerful than him, such as Jiren and Topu. While he doesn't come close in terms of power, it was his skill and strategy that saved the day. In terms of strength, Android 17 is no slouch either. Being an android gives him limitless energy, which is a huge plus. He doesn't have to worry about his stamina running out. His wide range of attacks also keep him constantly in the game with tons of tricks up his sleeve. Android 17 is much stronger than he's ever been. Yeah, and I really hope we get Dragon Ball Super 2 at some point so we can really see what they decide to do moving forward. Because they did a lot of cool stuff in Dragon Ball Super, especially with the progression of some of the characters like Android 17, like Frieza, so it would be cool to see kind of where they go with that. And it feels like it's been forever now since Dragon Ball Super aired, so hopefully we are getting closer and closer. At number 15, we have one of my favorite characters in the entire show, and that is Hito. Here's a picture of him. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It doesn't want to focus. Let's see. I guess whoever wrote this list, they agree with it as well, because the first line is one of the best characters from Dragon Ball Super. I would agree. Yeah, it was a powerful foe who managed to beat Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta in one-on-one fights, after which he threw the match against the extremely weak Monanka. By the time we get to the ending of the show, he is no longer such a fearsome foe. Both Goku and Vegeta have surpassed him, not to mention we get to see a host of new, much stronger fighters in the Tournament of Power. It's a shame Hit's ferocity lasted for such a short while. Yeah, I really hope that they'll do something more with Hit. He seems to be one of the fan favorites. And it was really cool. They had one episode where Goku wanted to face Hit at his absolute strongest, but Hit wouldn't do it because he said the only time that he actually was at full strength was if he was trying to carry out a hit, which is where he gets his name and assassinate somebody. So Goku, being the guy that he is and always wanting to see how strong somebody is, he actually puts out a hit for himself, not knowing that Goku's the one that did it. Hit still tries to carry it out, and then Goku gets to have his actual fight with Hit, which is very good. And the ending of that is really cool because Goku like shoots this ki blast in the air that comes down to like hit him in the chest and like revive him after Hit like essentially killed him. It was really, really cool. Super did a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, I really, really wanted to come back. And number 14, this is a surprising one because this is one of the OGs of the show, and this is Frieza. Frieza is, at this point, I mean, if you know Dragon Ball, you know him. He's the Emperor of Evil. He, up until Super, was probably about the most evil person in the show, and he still could be. Super, they did a good job of kind of leaving it like up to you to how you want to decide on it, if he's good or if he's bad, however you want to do it. But I absolutely love Frieza, so I'm surprised that 14 is his ranking, because he seems to be one of the ones that keeps his power on par with Goku and Vegeta and all of them as well. So let's see. Golden Frieza came back better than ever in the Tournament of Power. He had already proved himself as equals to Goku and Vegeta, and he had wasted no time knocking out some of the weaker opponents. But he never quite reaches individual heights. In fact, Frieza gets completely stomped by Tobo towards the latter end of the tournament. It was kind of sad to see Frieza get wrecked so hard. However, none of Frieza's defeats will compare to what Future Trunks did to him. I believe they're referring to whenever it was Mecha Frieza and Trunks shows up and just annihilates him in about 2 seconds and slices him to 100 pieces. It wasn't even a fight, it was just a straight up beatdown, so that's gotta be what they're referring to. But Frieza is one of the OGs of the show, and I don't see him going anywhere. Let's see, how long are we in so far? Okay, we're not too bad. I just want to make sure that I'm not going 50, 60 minutes, anything like that, but we're only about 22, 23, so we're good. Let's see, number 13, we have merged Zamasu. Zamasu is one of the coolest characters in the show. I really enjoyed his arc. In Super, it was probably my favorite one. If in Dragon Ball Super is its entirety, the Goku Black / Zamasu arc was incredible. Let's see. Let's see if I can get you guys a photo of him. Oh. There we go. You can't really see. He's green. He's not white. He's like a light green, almost like Piccolo. But the camera just doesn't want to focus. But let's see. The final and most desperate effort by Zamasu and Goku Black to defeat Goku. However, the fusion between an immortal and mortal caused Merge Zamasu to mutate into a very ugly creature, which I thought looked so awesome. He had like this big, like, mutated arm that was like purple and like half his head. It just looked super awesome. While he has some early success, Merge Zamasu hits the giant wall that is known as Vegito. Even though he survives that onslaught, Future Trunks delivers a fatal blow. After that, Xeno wipes him out of existence along with everything else. Yeah, like they did a pretty good job of putting over just how strong he was. The fact that Xeno, who has a very, very high ranking on this list, had to be the one to actually take care of him, because Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, all of them, they couldn't fully get rid of him. So he's a really cool character. Coming in at number 12, we have Kale, who I figured would be on this list. She, for anybody that doesn't know, she is essentially the girl Broly. This was their way of like making, of introducing Broly into Dragon Ball Super without just doing a carbon copy of Broly, even though her moves and her look are the exact same. Let's see if it'll focus and you guys can see. Like, even without, as kind of blurry and it's not zooming in, it almost just looks like Broly in a red tank top, but it's actually not. It's a girl. So I was kind of on the fence when I realized that's what they were going to be doing, because I'm a big fan of Broly. But they actually did it in a pretty good way that I'm pretty cool with it. So let's see. The first appearance of the legendary Super Saiyan in the Dragon Ball canon, which is obviously anybody that knows that's what Broly's referred to as the legendary Super Saiyan. Cal isn't quite as threatening as Broly, but she is plenty strong. She manhandled Super Saiyan Blue Goku and turned him into a ragdoll. There was almost no stopping her ferocious onslaught until Jiren showed up. After this, Gal manages to control her power better. However, the legendary beast is still inside of her, waiting to erupt. It will be great to see her return once again and challenge Goku to another fight. I really do want to see, her come back and do more. And then at 11, we actually have her and Caulifla's fusion with the Batara, which is Kefla. Let's see if you guys can see that. There we go. Let's see, the Batara fusion between Cal and Caulifla. Kefla's overwhelming power stops everything in motion. Everyone around her is distracted by the high level of energy radiating from her. It was a huge moment in the show. It was only after Goku activated Ultra Instinct that we know he was able to win easily. Before that, it was a battle of survival. While Kefla wasn't the most popular new character, she did create an opportunity for one of the best Kamehame waves by Goku. Yeah, like anybody who's unfamiliar or didn't see Dragon Ball Super, what they're referring to at that Kamehame is Goku actually like grinds on her blast like it's like a skateboard move almost, and then gets right up in her face and hits her with it. It was one of the most badass moments in all of Super. Anybody that I know that watched that, and my buddies that I watched it with, we all just lost our mind when we saw that. That was really, really cool. Okay, now we're getting into the top 10. So this is where we get to the real heavy hitters. Coming in at number 10, we have Topo. He is from, what universe was it? Let me see. Was it universe 10? I get the universes mixed up. But Topo was on the same side, or on the same universe as Jiren, who was the main, like, the villain, if you want to call him that, even though he wasn't really a bad guy. He was starting the team, and he was kind of like the second fiddle. But then they introduced that Topo had actually been selected to be a god of destruction. He just hadn't made up his mind yet if he wanted to or not. And then they finally had him decide during the tournament, and he was one of the coolest looking characters. Let me see if it'll show him. There we go. Let's see. To start off, we have Topo. After he reaches his god of destruction form, he made an immediate impact by beating Frieza within an inch of his life. If not for the rules of the tournament, Frieza would have been killed. That's very true. He beat the crap out of Frieza. This was a huge reveal for the story. We all thought it was Jiren that would have had the potential to be a god of destruction. However, the entire time they were actually talking about Topo, and he certainly delivered on his potential. You wouldn't have expected it, because before he made that decision, he was kind of like, round and pudgy. And then once he made that decision, he was just like straight up jacked. Topo was really cool. I really liked him. Coming in at number 9 is my favorite character in the entire show, so I'm kind of mad that he's ranked number 9. We have the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. Vegeta's one of the most popular characters in the show. I'd say everybody that watches Dragon Ball, or even if you haven't watched Dragon Ball, you may even know who he is. He's right there as far as him and Goku are the main characters of the show. Goku's definitely the main character, but it's more of like a 1A and 1B type thing, because I mean at this point Vegeta is just an absolute staple of the show, and you couldn't have Dragon Ball without Vegeta. Let's see if I can get you guys a photo of him for anybody that may be unfamiliar. This is him in his Super Saiyan Blue form. Vegeta spent a lot of time in the shadows of others, mainly Goku. But he finally had a shining moment where he mastered the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. With it, he was able to knock the god of destruction, Topo, out of the ring. In this form, Vegeta was also able to perfect his final explosion. When he used it against Boo, it resulted in his own death. This time, he was able to survive the explosion even though it used up a lot of his energy. It was really cool the way they did that callback as well too, where he did that move again, but this time it almost killed him, but it didn't because he had learned from it. So I thought it was cool how they did that. Coming in at number 8, this one's a big surprise because this was, one of the strongest characters, if not the strongest character in Dragon Ball Super. We have a Jiren the Grey. In my opinion, Jiren was very, very boring. Like, he was strong and he had some cool moments, but overall he was just super boring compared to some of the other main characters that we've seen, like Boo or Frieza or Cell. Those guys had a lot more depth to them. I feel Jiren was kind of just like, whatever, I'm here to fight and I'm strong. Let's see, the greatest enigma of the show, although his backstory was awful. I agree, it was so dumb, it was just so bland. Jiren was no joke in combat. He was the final obstacle for Goku and friends to overcome so they could win the tournament. After a tough fight, they managed to win. For the longest time, Jiren kept his full power hidden away. It was only at the very end he decided to unleash all of his muscles. That's when the real fight started, and it was one of the best in the entire franchise. That was another thing that I just didn't like about his characters that really didn't make no sense. I mean, if you think about it, if your universe is at stake of being completely erased to the point of you're gonna cease to exist, and you can just wipe the floor with everybody, why in the world are you just gonna stand around and wait and even let the potential of that, which it did, end up happening? If you can beat everybody, just do it, and save your universe. Like, that was one of my main things with it, because the logic behind it really made no sense. Like, I mean, you're facing complete erase, being erased, being extinct, and you just stand around like it's no big deal. I just thought that was dumb. Let's see. Number 7, the show, or the character that the show is all about, and that's Goku himself, also known to Vegeta and his Saiyan name as Kakarot. For anybody who's unfamiliar, you can go ahead and see this is him in his Ultra Instinct form. It won't really focus the way I want it to. There we go. Let's see, number 7. It was a tough call between Goku and Jiren. After Goku mastered his Ultra Instinct, he seemed to be evenly matched with Jiren. However, Goku had the slightest of advantages, which is why he's higher on the list. In fact, that slight advantage was the key to victory. Sadly, it wasn't enough. Right before Goku was about to land the finishing punch, his body broke down. He was literally inches away from ending the fight. A close call that fans hold their breath and tension. Ultra Instinct was pretty cool. I thought it was a cool way to like push Goku even further, because at this point, I mean, they've made him so strong that it's really hard for them to keep pushing him to a new level. So I thought this was kind of a cool way, because it was almost like he didn't have control over it. It was just his conscience and his fighting will was so strong because of the fear of the universe and everybody that he loved and cared for and had fought so much over the years for was potentially about to all be erased. And so Goku was able to kind of channel that fear and will and everything like that to achieve this this form. So I thought it was kind of cool. Some people didn't like it, but I guess it just comes down to personal preference. Let's see. Number 6, we have Vegito. This is the Potara fusion between Goku and Vegeta. Let's see. Here's a picture for you guys. There we go. The most powerful mortal character on the list, the ultimate fusion between Goku and Vegeta, is an extremely powerful warrior that we've yet to see use his full power. So far, Vegeta has never fought an opponent that has pushed him to the limit. Yeah, I mean, basically, when Vegeta shows up, at least to this point, you know it's GG, it's game over. Like, he doesn't mess around, and they have him so strong. Which, I mean, if you think about it, Goku and Vegeta are so strong, you know, on their own. So obviously, it would only make sense that if they're fused together, that they would be almost unstoppable. So I'm okay with that. So many people argue that Vegito is stronger than the gods of destruction. However, there's no real basis for this argument. The benefit of the doubt will have to go to the gods of destruction and their ability to destroy people in seconds. Yeah, I mean, like, for example, Beerus has the Hakai, where, I mean, he just says Hakai and puts his hand out, and, I mean, you're done. You're disintegrated into dust, essentially. Let's see, at number 5, speaking of gods of destruction, they've actually just put all of the gods of destruction at number 5 and kind of linked them together. Let's see, a joint entry. Since the gods of destruction do not have an official ranking, they are all capable of using destruction energy that can obliterate most things at once. Some of the gods are stronger than others, but they're all competent. These guys are some of the most feared people in the entire Dragon Ball universe. They have earned their reputation since they are genuinely strong. It's hard to imagine too many people stronger than them, but there are a few. The gods of destruction, I really hope we get more of a backstory on some of them. Like, we have, you know, Beerus and his brother Champa, but some of the other ones that were introduced in the Tournament of Power seemed really cool. Especially like this one right here that you see talking to Jiren, the clown one. I really thought that they were going to do something more with him, because he seemed like he had a lot of potential. So maybe in the future, because I kind of got like a Joker vibe from him. So it'd be really cool to see them make a return and actually have some sort of display of their full skills and what they can do. Coming in at number 4, we have the angels that belong to the gods of destruction. The gods of destruction have attendants known as angels. They are said to be stronger than the gods of destruction and are responsible for reining them in at times. Most of them are also masters of the Ultra Instinct technique. With so much martial arts skill and power, the angels are some of the most powerful beings in the Dragon Ball lore. If they are tasked with keeping the gods of destruction in check, then they would have to be very powerful to complete that job. That's why they are higher on the list. Not to mention, I believe it's I got which way is it? Either if you kill the angel, then the god of destruction will automatically die, or if you kill the god of destruction, the angel automatically dies. I can't remember which one it is. They went over it in Super, but it was something like that. Because I remember when Beerus, you know, hears about it, he like tells Whis, like, you know, why am I just hearing about this? Why have you not told me this? Let's see. Number 3, we're in the top 3. We're at about 40 minutes. We have Zeno's bodyguards. The most powerful beings need powerful bodyguards, so it makes perfect sense for Zeno's bodyguards to be this high on the list. They are extremely fast, as they manage to catch Goku off guard without him realizing it. They are also very mysterious and hardly say a word. However, the guards aren't all bad. When they see the friendship between Goku and Zeno, they back off. That is, of course, after determining that Goku poses no potential threat to their master. Here's a picture for you guys. They were really cool. I hope that we could see more of them, because when they even first introduced, you could tell these guys, like, they were legit and they could do some serious damage, but we never really got to see them really do anything except just stand around. So maybe in the future of Dragon Ball Super, we can actually see something with them. Let's see, we have the final two. We have number 2, the Grand Priest. This is actually the father of all the angels that are the angels that keep the gods of destruction in check. So think about how powerful he has to be. Here's a photo of him standing next to Whis. He is the shorter one. You can't really see it because my phone doesn't want to focus, but he is the shorter one. The father of all the angels and Zeno's most trusted minister. The Grand Priest surpasses all of the angels in power and is second only to Zeno. Once again, his character and origin are very mysterious. These final 3, like the bodyguards, the Grand Priest, and then Zeno, they are all very, very mysterious as far as their backstories, what they can do, because the Super didn't really dive too much into that, and I know that's something the community is really, really asking for, to really know more about them, because they were super interesting. So hopefully we can see more of that. Let's see, we learn almost nothing about him other than the fact that he is the father of the angels. Speaking of which, does that mean the angels also have a mother? And how strong would she be? These are probably questions we will never get the answers to as Dragon Ball Super shifts towards a brand new story. I just want a new story at this point. Give us anything with Dragon Ball. I feel so long. Let's see, and last but not least, we have Zeno. Zeno is he's the god of everything in Dragon Ball, essentially, especially in Dragon Ball Super. He is the one above all. Let's see, here's a little photo of him. He's a little small guy. If it'll focus, yeah, you can see Champa behind him. That's one of the gods of destruction. It's the cat-looking one. That's not him. He's the tiny one with the multicolored football head. The thing is, he talks like a baby. So, like, when you hear him, it throws you off because he sounds like a 5-year-old child. Let's see what it says. The king of everything in Dragon Ball, the only one who could be stronger than Zeno would be Akira Toriyama himself. For anybody's unfamiliar, that's the guy who writes the show. Zeno's power is different from the others on this list. His is not about mastering martial arts techniques. Instead, Zeno just has raw powers with a childlike mentality. He has seen wiping out entire planets as part of a game. He has no hesitation in wiping out an entire universe. Despite all of that, he also has a merciful side which allows the defeated universes to live after they were wished back by the Super Dragon Balls. Zeno is truly an enigma. He is a very interesting character, and if we get more on him, that would be really, really awesome, because they could certainly do a lot with him. They have it where him and Goku are really good friends. So if we could ever somehow see a fight with Goku and Zeno, I don't know how they would do that, just because his power is so far and beyond Goku's, even with Ultra Instinct and everything. Like, it wouldn't even be close. But, they always find a way to try to make sense of it, so it'd be kind of cool. Maybe if, from Goku hanging around him or something, like, he picked up on his power levels and his body, like, adapted. I don't know, like, they have a bunch of ways they could do it, but it would be cool. I just want Dragon Ball back at this point. It's been so long. But that's gonna do it for the list. I'm glad I was able to get another video made for you guys. I don't look in the camera if you've seen any of my other videos, so, apologies for that if that throws any of you guys off. It's just easier to look at my phone and make sure that I'm focused and speaking clear with the microphone. So I'm hopeful that I'll have another video here soon, because I really do enjoy making these. Oh, and actually, before I forget, I want to show you, because I had actually got this awesome gift by my girlfriend, and since it's a Dragon Ball video, this would be the perfect time to show it. She actually got me a Vegeta Funko Pop, and as I mentioned, Vegeta is my show. So she had got me this of the Vegeta training. I want to open it, but I know you're not supposed to open these, so I'm not going to. But this was a really, really cool gift, and I really appreciate that she took the time to get this for me. Excuse me. They have so many of these Funko Pops. I would like to start me like a Funko Pop collection, but I just never really have the time or extra money to just be like, hey, let me go spend however much. I don't even know how much these things cost. I've never bought one, but they look really awesome, so I can't imagine that they're cheap. So we'll see if we can get some nice tapping sounds from this to go ahead and close it out, because I know some people like that. That's my personal favorite one as well. So maybe we can get some good ones. Oh, and let's go ahead and show the back so you can see some of the other ones that we have in there, if it'll pick up. So as you can see, you got the one I got on top, the Vegeta training. You have the Future Trunks, the Goku from the 28th World Tournament, Piccolo, Mecha Frieza, which that one looks absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that one. The Krillin with the Destructo disc looks really, really cool as well. Bulma and one of her million hairstyles. And then lastly, Android 16, which is also a really, really cool looking one. So these Funko Pops are really, really interesting, and they have tons and tons and tons of them. So maybe one of these days I'll get around to actually building this collection, but this is my first and only Funko Pop, so it'll always be my favorite. So once again, thank you to my girlfriend who got this for me, and we'll go ahead and do some tapping and then go ahead and finish this video up. I appreciate anybody who checked me out. I know it's been a while, and I want to get some more videos out to you guys soon. So if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe. It means a lot when I do see, I get a new subscriber. Leave a comment on the video. I love hearing from you guys. Any suggestions or comments, I'll make sure to respond to every comment. If you take the time to write a comment on it, I'll take the time to respond to you. So let's just get some tapping and then call it a day. Thanks for checking us out, guys. Sound different from this little vinyl part. No, I think it just sounds the same. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I look forward to making my next video, and I look forward to hearing from you guys on any suggestions or what you would like to do, or what you guys would like for me to do. Because like I said, coming up with these videos can be a bit more challenging than you would expect. You have a bunch of ideas, but to actually sit down and be like, okay, I want to go ahead and make a video out of this. Something I think you guys will actually enjoy listening to if you're trying to go to sleep, if you're studying, whatever. I at least want it to be something that you guys can listen to and maybe learn something. If you're unfamiliar with Dragon Ball, or if you're like me, I just like hearing people's opinions on subjects that I'm interested in. So with that being said, once again, I appreciate you guys checking me out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay safe out there. Thank you.